Hi, and welcome to step 4 of this Fullstack login system. We are going to do something that is basically a copy-paste of the previous step, which we first did the login form. The reason why I separate those two is because getting that login form to work for the first time with an actual fetch request is quite important for you to understand how a frontend communicates with a backend. But again, practice makes perfect, so now we're going to do the same with the register form. So I've already prepared some code, but let's see what we need to do. We need to open up the register.js file, which is in the front end, of course, and again, add an event listener. As you can see, most of the things that are here in the exercise are the same, except for one thing, that is comparing, of course, the values for both password fields. Because if we register, we're giving a new username, a new email, and we are giving a password for safekeeping that we can compare to later on if we log in. So let's go and check out the code. In here, we have the login.html. As you can see, my server is already running. I'm going to minimize this because I don't need to be working in the backend yet. We are going to add some small thing later on. So I'm going to close this. Server is still running. In the login form, again, this is the code you've written from last session, which means when the submit event is triggered, we prevent the default. We get the variables, we check for the login, and we console log that for now. We're going to do some more things from step 6 and onwards. And the get data function is here. Now, the get data function, in an ideal scenario, you will put this in a separate JavaScript file and then keep importing the function. But for now, we're just going to copy paste this whole code and do some adjustments. So if you do that, we can go to register.js. As you can see here, I've done most of the work already, and I've been working with an alert. So again, all of the code in the get data is the same, so you can copy that from login.js. You can copy everything from the login page for the event listener. We're going to add two things. We're going to add the correct fields. So of course, you're going to make an event listener on the correct ID. If you don't have an ID yet, check your ID in the HTML form. We're going to listen to the submit event. We're going to get our 4 values. So if you've not seen the register file, it's this. So we have a username, email, password, and a repeat password. So of course we need to capture those 4 values. If we have those, we're going to check the password. If the password is correct on the front-end side, then alone we can do a call to the register endpoint and actually register our user. Because otherwise it wouldn't make sense to have 2 different passwords, because which one are you going to save then? So this is a very common check. If it's not correct, at this point we're now throwing alerts, so it's quite clear. So again, if I were to test this, username Mike at ehb.be, password is 1234, and let's make the second one 12345. If I submit this, I will get password does not match, which is correct. If I do 1234, user has been saved. Now, perfect. Let's try it out. Mike at ehb.be, password. Let's log back in. Mike at ehb.be. Again, I rebooted the server, so there was no user present until I just did the register. And I didn't make a console log, I think. I did, but I'm not showing the log. So let's see. What am I logging? You are logged in. Authentication successful. Perfect. Now, of course, we have been testing with that same user for some time. Let's try something obviously different that we have not used before to show you that it works. Harry at hogwarts.co.uk. I'd like to imagine that is their domain. Avada. From Avada Kedavra, of course. User has been saved. If I go to the login page and I use again Harry at hogwarts.co.uk and I do Avada, you know what? Let's Avada 1 and then I will get password is incorrect. If I do this, it will say no user is existing. So in this case, my user exists, but my password is incorrect. And now it should be okay. Authentication successful. So with this small video, I just showed you that basically once you get the grasp of one part of the Fullstack story, which is the login.js focus, then you can easily duplicate multiple pages to actually get data or save data, which we've both done now, to your API. So with that out of the way, we can conclude step 4. And the next step would be to actually implement a database to make sure that whenever our server restarts, we still have our users present. All right. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.